Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi became Malaysia's 5th Prime Minister in 2003 after the retirement of Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad. His leadership came at a crucial time when the country needed a new direction to move forward. Unlike his predecessor, Tun Abdullah took a softer and more moderate approach in leading the country. He promoted clean governance, Islamic values through Islam Hadari, and aimed to reduce corruption in the public sector. One of the most important initiatives during his time was the 9 Malaysia Plan, which ran from 2006 to 2010. This plan was different from previous one because it focused less on physical mega projects and more on building human capital, improving education, strengthening the economy through knowledge and innovation, and reducing poverty in rural areas.
So ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'll be briefly explaining to you on the background of the 9 Malaysia Plan that was established by the Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi during his leadership. The 9 Malaysia Plan is a part of the country's 5-year development planning framework that covered from 2006 until 2010. It outlined the Malaysia key policy, program and strategies to achieve the long-term development goal. This idea was officially launched by the Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, who was the Malaysia's 5th Prime Minister at that time. So, the 9 Malaysia Plan was formulated at a time when Malaysia was transitioning from an economic country to a knowledge-based economy, following the momentum by the Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad that wanted to achieve the Vision 2020. So, under Tun Abdullah's leadership, the focus towards the balanced development that is not just focusing in the economic term, but also in social, spiritual, and environment aspect. He also emphasized on the Islam Hadari, or Civilization Islam, which highlighted the progress in the governance and moral integrity. Next, the 9 Malaysia Plan also aimed to strengthen national unity and integration. The second one, to reduce poverty and income disparity between urban and rural area. The third one, they wanted to enhance human capital through better education and training. And most importantly, they wanted to boost the economic growth while ensuring the social equality and sustainability. All in all, the 9 Malaysia Plan served as the continuation of Malaysia's long-term national agenda, but with a new emphasis on people-centered development by the Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi.
And let's begin with the main activities under the 9 Malaysia Plan. The first activity is human capital development. The government worked to improve education, especially in rural areas, so that more students can go to school. At the same time, special training programs were introduced to help people learn new skills and find better jobs. The VET programs also upgraded to meet the needs of the today's job market. The second activity is the rural development and inclusivity. To help rural area goals, the government spent 3.58 billion ringgit on building roads and improving infrastructure. 5 regional economic corridors were introduced to support growth in the less developed area. In agriculture, 4.4 billion ringgit was invested to modernize farming and help increase the income of the rural communities. Last activity is the ICT and technology infrastructure. Improving internet access was a top priority, and broadband coverage is expanded in the nationwide. The government also encouraged the use of new technology like biotech and renewable energy in the key industry. To support innovation, more focus was given to research and development, or R&D.
Represent the efforts of Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi. One of his key efforts was the reformation of the civil service. Tun Abdullah aimed to make the government more efficient, transparent, and responsive to the public. He encouraged civil servants to adopt a more customer-friendly approach and emphasize professionalism through training and capacity building programs. In line with modernization, he also promoted the e-government system to improve the speed and accessibility of public services. For example, services like online license renewals and tax submission help reduce bureaucracy and waiting time, making it easier for Malaysians to deal with government agencies. Second effort is education development. Education was one of the top priorities during his administration. Tun Abdullah believed that building a knowledge-based economy starts with strengthening the education system. His government increased education funding, especially for rural and undeserved areas, by building more schools and upgrading existing facilities. He also supported curriculum reform with a focus on science and technology, preparing students for future demands. More public universities and technical institutions were opened, providing opportunities for students from diverse backgrounds to pursue higher education. The third point is support for rural development SMEs. Another effort was focused on rural development and supporting small and medium enterprises. To reduce the development gap between the urban and rural areas, his administration improved infrastructure such as roads, clean water, electricity, and schools in village. At the same time, rural entrepreneurs were supported through financial assistance programs, training, and market access. This allowed them to grow their small businesses and participate more actively in the national economy, especially in sectors like agriculture and food production. Okay, now I will present you the contributions. The first point is improve education outcome. As a result of these efforts, especially in the field of education, Malaysia experienced notable progress. Literacy rates increased and there was a rise in tertiary education enrollment, including among students from rural backgrounds. The expansions of higher learning institutions and technical college created a generation of skilled workers who could support the shift towards a knowledge-based and innovation-driven economy. This was one of the Tun Abdullah's most meaningful contribution to the nation building. The second point is rural development and inclusivity. Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi contributed to nation building by prioritizing rural development and inclusivity. His government invested in rural infrastructure like roads, electricity, clean water, and internet access to improve connectivity and living conditions in less developed areas. He also introduced economic zones to promote growth outside urban centers and modernized the agriculture sector by supporting farmers with technology and training. This step helped boost rural income and ensure that development reached all parts of the country.
So today we are diving into 4 key challenges faced during the implementation of Malaysia 9th Malaysia Plan under Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi. So first of all, economic imbalances between urban and rural areas were tough to bridge. Regions like Sabah, Sarawak, and interior Peninsula Malaysia lack in infrastructure, healthcare, and education access. Compounded by limited funding allocation for remote areas, which made it hard to prioritize projects effectively. Additionally, logistical issues such as difficult terrain and long distances slowed down the construction of roads and facilities, hindering the equitable development. Second, transitioning to a knowledge-based economy was ambitious but challenging. Malaysia faced a shortage of skilled workers and limited investment in research and development. Many industries struggle to adopt advanced technologies like biotechnology due to a lack of expertise. Furthermore, the education system was slow to produce graduates with the technical skills needed as curriculum updates lagged behind the fast-evolving global technology landscape. Third, reducing poverty among marginalized groups like the Orang Asli and natives of Sabah and Sarawak was complex. Geographic isolation made it difficult to deliver education, healthcare, and economic programs effectively. Additionally, cultural barriers and limited community engagement reduced the impact of entrepreneurship and agricultural initiatives aimed at improving incomes for these groups. Last but not least, improving educational quality and access was inconsistent. Rural schools often lack basic facilities like electricity and trained teachers, impacting students' outcomes. Additionally, there was a mismatch between graduate skills and industry needs, particularly in science and technology, as vocational training programs were not scaled up quickly enough to meet the market demands.
So in conclusion, Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi focused on human capital, education and rural development through the 9 Malaysian Plan. Despite some challenges, his efforts have improved the life of many Malaysians. His leadership has brought positive changes and supported the country's growth.